Rosalind Cash. She was one of the most beautiful and attractive faces in Hollywood. Her caramel complexion, radiant eyes, and captivating smile charmed audiences around the world. With an astonishing resume spanning over 30 years, the veteran actress was as talented as she was beautiful, capturing the essence of every role she performed. Known for her strict stance against stereotypical roles, she would refuse a script if she felt it belittled the image of women or black people. With appearances on some of the most groundbreaking shows in television history, she enjoyed the respect that only a few could imagine. She played doctors, a college professor, even the first female president of the United States. On this episode of Forgotten Hollywood, we examine the life of the very lovely and the very talented Rosalind Cash. Do you like these videos? Are they informative, entertaining? Are you learning something about some of your favorite artists? If so, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. It helps keep me in the rotation. And please press the notification bell to be informed of future postings. Now, back to the program. Rosalind was born on December 13, 1938, in Atlantic City, New Jersey, the same bustling town that inspired the famous board game Monopoly and gave birth to the Miss America pageant. Although the casino industry wouldn't come until 40 years later, the local economy was still strong. Entertainment was everywhere. Jazz clubs, underground casinos, and brothels decorated the celebrated Black district of Kentucky Avenue. Musicians, singers, and hustlers spent their money freely, enjoying the nightlife. This town was the place to be. Against this backdrop, Rosalind was the second of 4 children to John and Martha Cash, a very close-knit family. She naturally gravitated to the arts with an urge to excel, not just in acting, but singing and dancing. After graduating with honors from the Atlantic City High School, which was later attended by the very talented actor and writer James Avery, more popularly known as Uncle Phil, from the comedy hit show The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Rosalind relocated to New York, attending the City College of New York, where she would eventually connect with the theater community. But her big break came when she got a small role in the 1961 classic film The Hustler, starring Paul Newman as a pool shark and screen legend Jackie Gleason as Minnesota Fats. Rosalind was just 23 when she was cast in the film as a waitress. Her part was small and brief, appearing in just one scene. It was 1 hour and 45 minutes into the film. She would eventually find success with the 1962 revival of Fiorello, a musical about the 99th mayor of New York City. Afterwards, Rosalind had her Broadway debut as Miss Hoyt in The Wayward Stop. Although the scripts were starting to come, frustration was mounting for Rosalind, as it was among all Black actors. They either couldn't find decent roles or stories that spoke to their life experiences. This inspired Rosalind to join the Negro Ensemble Company, founded by visionary playwright Douglas Turner Ward and actor-activist Robert Hooks, including G.S. Crone. The company's mission? Black themes by Black writers with Black actors. The company became a legendary institution among Black entertainers. Some of the biggest names in Black Hollywood got their start with the company. Almost every Black actor, writer, and director had their skills sharpened from the experience. This was a fraternity of committed souls and kindred spirits demanding self-determination through art and expression. Rosalind was so smitten by the company's mission, in 1969, she traveled with them for a 3-week trip to Europe to perform in drama festivals throughout London and Rome. This was her first time leaving America. She was just 31. The English countryside was beautiful, just as she thought it would be. But the experience with some of the English people was not. Rosalind discovered that racism was not just an American product. It was for sale all around the world, but she was not buying. However, in Rome, the people were more warm and pleasant. If the hospitality was fake, she didn't notice. Everywhere she walked, Rosalind was admired for her beauty and grace. 2 years later, in 1971, she appeared in the movie Clute with Jane Fonda and The Omega Man with Charlton Heston, a precursor to the Will Smith movie I Am Legend. Rumor has it, The Omega Man is recorded as one of the first on-screen interracial romances when Heston's character kissed Rosalind. According to Heston's autobiography, when the scene was first introduced, Rosalind was a little edgy and skeptical about having that scene with him, but the screenwriter insisted, stating that Rosalind's character was created due to the rise of the Black Power movement that was so prominent in the 1970s. Adding that scene would lend to a very powerful dynamic. But not everyone agreed. The move was considered typical Hollywood politics, while others believed that Rosalind actually outperformed Heston's character. For her performance, she was named in the Quigley publication Star of Tomorrow, the first African-American actress to be recognized since the list was first launched in 1941. Then came New Centurions with actor Stacy Keach as a troubled police officer. Keach is prominently known today as the narrator for the popular documentary series American Greed. Rosalind's next movie was one of her personal favorites, a dramatic love story, suspenseful and entertaining, with some kick-ass karate. Melinda, starring the very lovely actress Vonetta McGee. And legendary stage and film actor Calvin Lockhart in the lead role. Rosalind plays his jealous girlfriend Terry. It was magical to see them both at their very best doing what they love. The chemistry on camera translated across the screen, and it was well received by critics and moviegoers. Melinda was written by a multi-talented screenwriter, Lonnie Elder III. Up next for Rosalind was the movie Hickey and Boggs with comedic giant Bill Cosby. All-American Boy with actor extraordinaire Jon Voight came next. Then she was back on stage with the deepest voice in Hollywood, James Earl Jones, for King Lear. But by this time, Hollywood was put on notice by Rosalind. Like many of her brilliantly talented and charismatic contemporaries, such as Ruby Dee, Diana Sands, and Cicely Tyson, Rosalind struggled to find meaningful scripts or storylines, turning down a few before accepting one. The trend in Hollywood was obvious. Studio bosses saw Black people through the lens of one focus, and Rosalind didn't fit that focus. She was later quoted as saying,
"We are so grateful to have a part that we often do roles that aren't us, that are old, tired, stereotypes we don't even believe in. Then we sit and watch and we are embarrassed to see ourselves. I played a lot of prostitutes very early in my career, but as I matured, I lost interest in them. I just didn't want to be seen being abused in those nasty, degrading parts. I didn't want to project that image. I am an artist, and I think I will be an artist whether the industry recognizes me or not.
So in 1974, when legendary film pioneer and stage actor turned director Sir Sidney Poitier tapped Rosalind to play his wife in the fan favorite movie Uptown Saturday Night, it became an instant classic, and it's still adored many years later. Fans of black cinema got to see some of their favorite actors perform roles of consequence and not the typical buffoonery manufactured by Hollywood.
Money, honey, oh, money, honey, money, honey. Steve, what's wrong?
The lottery ticket is in your wallet.
Then came the movie Amazing Grace, which was one of the final films of legendary comic pioneer and trailblazer Moms Maid. Cornbread Earl and Me with the young 14-year-old Lawrence Fishburne. Dr. Black and Mr. Hyde with Bernie Casey. And The Monkey Hustle, starring Yaphet Kotto and Rudy Ray Moore. Along with these movie roles, Rosalind landed some meaningful cameos on network television, especially on Good Times, which seemed like a rite of passage for many black actors. She was on season 4, episode 3, entitled JJ and the Older Woman. Rosalind played the character Jessica Bishop, Thelma's favorite teacher, who actually falls for Jimmy Walker's character. But the 15-year difference between the two created a roadblock for the Mr. Dynamite star and his mother, Florida Evans. There were appearances on What's Happening, Barney Miller, Police Woman, Starsky and Hutch, Kojak, The Class of Miss McMichael, Death Drug with Philip Michael Thomas, and then the role of wife to O.J. Simpson's character in the television movie A Killing Affair. The 1970s was a solid decade for Rosalind, but not as rewarding as one would expect for an actress of her beauty and talent. The 1980s proved to be a little better. Rosalind accepted the role of Jenny Hammond in the biographical made-for-TV movie The Guyana Trap, based on the life of murderous cult leader Jim Jones. But it was her next movie that brought symbolism never before seen in Hollywood. The movie Wrong is Right, starring Sean Connery as a globe-trotting reporter and Rosalind as Mrs. Ford, the newly installed first female vice president of the United States. For her performance, Rosalind earned an Image Award nomination by the NAACP, but surprisingly lost to Jane Fonda. Then there was the made-for-TV movie, Sister Sister, written by multi-talented actress, writer, poet Maya Angelou, starring Diane Carroll and Irene Cara. The movie was actually ready to be viewed in 1979, but according to a Jet magazine article, NBC network head Fred Silverman refused to air the movie, believing the storyline and actors would alienate the network's white audience. But after Silverman resigned from NBC, the new network head, Grant Tinker, greenlit the project along with many other projects that Silverman had shelved. Rosalind hooked up again with Bill Cosby for cameo appearances on The Cosby Show and Different World. She was on The Golden Girls, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and Rock, including the proud matriarch Mae Ward from General Hospital. These were the types of roles Rosalind demanded. One of her final films, the horror and comedy classic Tales from the Hood, where she plays a doctor who attempts to transform the mind of a thugged-out gangster performed by late actor Lamont Bentley. We all should remember Bentley. He played the role Hakeem on the hit TV show Moesha. Bentley was a young and talented actor, but was tragically killed in a car accident in 2005. Rosalind's character tearfully warns Bentley's character he won't get a second chance at life if he doesn't accept responsibility for the crimes he committed. Her powerful commentary of reality shined a light on the excessive violence in the Black community. It spoke to the core of what Rosalind truly stood for, what she cared about in art and in life. Sadly, on October 31st, 1995, at just 56 years of age, Rosalind lost her fight to cancer at Cedars-Sinai Hospital in Los Angeles, California. She never married, never had children, but she left a body of work she was proud of with a legacy that lives on forever.